While it can be amusing or seem like they are having fun, it is not a good thing when a dog goes crazy around other dogs. In fact, it can be a sign of a big problem known as reactivity. AnimalWised explains the reasons a dog is reactive. Why does my dog go crazy around other dogs? To understand why dogs act crazy when they see another dog, we need to understand reactivity. A reactive dog is incapable of successfully managing the emotions that certain stimuli generate. They then respond intensely and disproportionately as a consequence. This emotional response is unhelpful to the dog as it is both impulsive and involuntary. A very common mistake that people make is to think that reactivity is always associated with aggression, but this is not true. A dog that barks, cries, growls, jumps, or yanks on the leash when they see another dog doesn't necessarily feel like attacking them. Reactivity is the result of emotional mismanagement and can occur due to any emotion the animal feels, even if it is positive, such as joy. At these times, it's completely normal to notice your dog does not obey when around other dogs. Let's look at some of the most frequent reasons that could explain why your dog goes crazy around other dogs. Fear. This is a negative and very intense emotion. In many cases, it generates phobias and reactivity problems in dogs. For example, if your dog experienced trauma when in the presence of other dogs, it's understandable they feel fear around them. Anxiety. The feeling of not having control over a situation often causes very high levels of stress and anxiety in dogs. They may then respond reactively to stimuli that generate such insecurity. This is common in the case of dogs that have not been properly socialized with other dogs or that have been educated through punishment. Discover how to properly socialize a puppy with other dogs in the info video we share in the card. Frustration. Sometimes reactive behavior stems from the frustration the dog feels when wanting to approach another animal and not being able to do so. This could be due to the leash or when separated by some physical barrier. In these cases, if the reactive dog is completely free to approach the other, their behavior tends to be less impulsive and more rational. Hypersociability. Reactivity can also occur in the event that a dog does not know how to manage the joy they feel at meeting another dog on the street. As a consequence, they react in a very exaggerated way, barking or pulling on the leash. In this case, it's normal to notice the dog wants to greet all the dogs they see. Aggressiveness. Although not always the case, reactive behavior can precede an attack or serve as a warning for the other dog to move away or change their behavior. In this case, the body language of the dogs and the tension that exists between them becomes very important. Lack of self-control. As with people, there are dogs that have very impulsive characters. This could be due to genetics, a negative environment, or previous experience, as well as many other factors. This makes it more difficult for them to contain and properly channel their emotions. How to prevent reactivity in dogs. The first step in being able to successfully teach your dog to ignore other dogs is to identify the cause of their reactivity. The way to deal with it varies depending on its origin. You should also keep in mind that it is completely useless to try to solve the problem through physical or verbal punishment. Once the behavior is seen, the best thing you can do is try to calm and distract your dog from the problem situation. Knowing your dog well and creating a good bond with them is essential to build trust. This is essential for the behavioral modification process. If you want to continue learning about dog behavior, don't miss the playlist we share here. Is your dog reactive? Let us know what situations have occurred around other dogs by leaving a comment below, and we'll see you next time.